at the end of the day, it's not about doing a transaction and moving on. It's about establishing and continuing to build on a relationship, generational relationships, not just one and done transaction, checking account, we're done. We want to move on to the next generation.
Welcome to the Smart Start podcast, where we discuss broadening our community via education and service. My name is Michelle Ward, and I'm your host today. I'm excited to be here, filling in for Tom Sattler, who has so graciously agreed to be in the hot seat. So Tom, community banks have always played an essential role in local economies, but how do you see that role evolving in today's financial landscape?
Well, I think, it's no secret that consolidation continues to happen. The cost to run a bank becomes more and more, with, again, technology and different aspects, it just becomes more and more expensive to run banks. And it primarily starts with, we live in a community. We're part of a community. We're the fabric of a community. You can be a regional bank and you can have a branch, or you can be a national bank and you can have a branch in our neighborhood. Absolutely. And people that are local live there. Our entire staff lives in this community. Our entire employment base lives in this community. We're the neighbors to our customers. Community banking, regardless, is going to be essential, even as we move into, 2030, 2040. We need small community banks like the Equitable Bank to thrive.
So how does the Equitable Bank support local businesses, local home buyers, first-time home buyers?
Yeah, founded in 1927 to help people save money to buy homes. That was the tagline then, and it's similar to what we do now. We equate it to, if you've seen the movie It's a Wonderful Life, everybody around Christmas time sees that. Truly, that's what it was. The Equitable Bank was founded as a building and loan. People would save money, bring their money in to save money to buy homes, and that's what we did. We continue to do that today. It's a little different, obviously, than George Bailey, but we are still doing the exact same things. We pick and choose community groups that we invest in, small business events that we participate in with our consumers, our customers, and business owners that bank with us. We turn to them and support their causes as well. Again, it's just a matter of they're our neighbors, they're our friends. These are the people we need to not only transact. It's beyond checking and savings accounts and giving loans to people. It's just being part of the community. And what we do is we connect with these people. We connect with individuals who have causes that they want us to contribute to, or just we give sweat equity a lot of times too, more so than anything else. We like to be, as I like to say, we like to get our fingernails dirty. We're going to be doing walks in neighborhoods. We're going to do cleanups. We'll do everything that possible to help. And I think one of our biggest charges is we need to help educate people too. Again, it's not just about, hey, we can open up a checking account or savings account for you. We need to provide information to people. We need to provide information to our business customers and our consumers about topics that are relevant. So that's what the importance of what the Equitable Bank tries to provide into the communities.
In the past, you've spoken about the importance of real local relationships. How does this translate into the way you approach loan decisions and work with first-time home buyers, say, in comparison to the larger banks?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, as I said, these are our neighbors. These are people we interact with. The decisions are made here, and again, that kind of sometimes it gets misconstrued as in terms of we really do make decisions here in terms of helping people with their down payments. Our local decision-making comes into play with regard to, we know the neighborhoods. If you go to an online bank or even a regional or national bank that utilizes different services, that they don't know the neighborhoods like we know the neighborhoods. We have people who know these neighborhoods and understand the values that are in different areas and what they need to do. And at the end of the day, they know we're going to be here. They know we're going to be here. We have their best interest at heart. It's not about doing a transaction and moving on. It's about establishing and continuing to build on a relationship, generational relationships, not just one and done transaction, checking account, we're done. We want to move on to the next generation. We want to be able to be the parents. We want to have the parents, the grandparents, the great-grandparents, the grandchildren, and the great-grandchildren. We want all of those people to work with the Equitable Bank on both starting savings accounts for the young people, buying their first, saving for college, buying that first home, and educating them about opportunities that may lie with grants and so forth. When the first time, many people don't have any idea the amount of money they could possibly get in grants as part of a down payment to purchase a home. We have all that availability. And again, reaching out to a local community bank like the Equitable Bank gets you a lot of those opportunities and gives you a lot of those answers with the relationships we've established.
So fraud protection and education are key concerns for all customers, but it's a really important key concern for you.
Yeah.
Can you share how the Equitable Bank offers personalized support in that area?
Yeah, and this just speaks to the whole concept of community banking and what the importance of community banking is. Right now, because of the prevalence of check fraud that's going on, we're actually dedicating members of our team to go through each check that is written on our customers' accounts. And as they're being presented to the bank, we're actually going through there. Obviously, we're looking at a dollar amount that's higher than just a traditional. We're not looking at every $50 check. But what we're looking at is basically looking and then verifying those signatures and verifying the relevance and also kind of understanding what is the pattern of that customer. And if we feel the slightest bit level of discomfort, we're actually reaching out to those customers and just verifying, did you write this check for this amount? And the response has been overwhelmingly supportive in terms of the idea that, what you're reaching out to me and asking, I think people are almost caught off guard because one thing we tell people, don't answer any questions on the phone. But, again, because of who we are and how we're established, we have established these relationships with customers who know the people that they're talking to. A lot of the times. Obviously, there might be, but I think without question, the number of phone calls we've made, the overwhelming response has been positive in terms of thank you for just doing that and reaching out to us. And what I think the Equitable Bank brand is if they walk away, they're having conversations about the Equitable Bank with people that aren't employees of the Equitable Bank. They're talking to their friends and neighbors about whether it's check fraud or whether it's I got my son or daughter an $8,000 grant to buy their first home working with the Equitable Bank, or the Equitable Bank saw the circumstance where, I had some hiccups with my job history or something of that nature and they still did the loan for me. That is the tell that basically tells me that we're doing things right. When people are going and telling other people their story and their experience with the Equitable Bank, and they sing the praises of the employees of the Equitable Bank. That happens all the time. That's the key takeaway. But at the end of the day, it's establishing and maintaining those relationships with customers and growing those relationships. As I said, starting off with the children, grandchildren, children, great-grandchildren, moving on right through the great-grandparents and having that generational relationship with those customers and clients.
So at the end of the day, why do you think a bank should have a podcast?
Well, I think it's kind of evolved. I think we've talked about why we needed a podcast. I think it is just informing a broader way to inform our customer base and our community. It's really a different way to reach out to our community and the different topics that we use. We started off, doing what we do best. We talked about first-time home buying. We did talk to a realtor about, going out and finding a home and talked about how you can get grants. And then it kind of evolved from there. We talked about, our business customers, why they like working with us. We talked to realtor about how to write a proper offer. We've now started to talk about other things like, preparing yourself to sell, seniors preparing themselves to talk to sell their home and moving into assisted living communities and evolving. We talk about, making sure they establish a power of attorney. The thing that I haven't mentioned is we don't talk just about, checking accounts. We talk about not, go get a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. We haven't talked about rates. Those things all come, but what we really need to do, and we've tried to do through these podcasts, is educate and establish a brand that, again, people are able to communicate outside of just, I opened up a checking account there, and I've got a savings account there, or I opened up a CD and then their rates weren't as good, so I went somewhere else. We want to continue to grow that relationship, and through these podcasts, I think we've tried to establish that.
Well, you've given us a lot of good information, and I enjoyed talking to you today.
I always enjoyed talking to you, Michelle.
Well, thank you for your time today, Tom. You've given us a lot of good information. And thank you for joining in, and join us for the next episode of the Smart Start podcast. Thank you.